All right. So, how's everybody doing? It's about what, 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:20, 5:29 in the morning here in Michigan. Um, I said I'd be going live if I could get that video, if I could get the dog thief up and running, and I found a way to get it up and running. It just took a while. By the time I got that up and running, it also the internet went out. And so yeah, the good thing is I have like most of my movies I would stream and whatever. I've got it. I've got backups of them on my hard drive. So I mean, I don't even have to load a DVD. It's already on there. I've got a folder with like all my favorite movies, and it's over a couple hundred of them, and they're just in the folder, just chilling. And then I've got the DVDs in case those could go corrupt. You know what I mean? It's backup on backup on backup. In the digital world, man, if you don't have it in three places, that shit don't exist. Not for real. Not for real. Not if you don't have like one of these. It's backed up on one of these. Backed up on, where the hell is it? Backed up on a memory stick. Backed up on one of those, like in a security vault. Backed up on a memory stick is in like another fucking location that's safe, or like on your person at all times, or something where it's not going to get damaged. And then it's also active on either like on the internet and whatever. Otherwise, it doesn't. It's not really yours. Like, even if you have a copy on the internet, it still belongs to the world basically until you can prove it's yours, right? You have to fight for that if someone else takes it. So, anyways, I'm not trying to take anything. This is Chris J's movie, The Dog Thief, and it was a really good story. It was a really good story, and the version he had me put together, he had me edit together because he wasn't able to get it into the computer and or operate the program as well as me. I had just been doing it for a while. By the time he had started, he had the film and everything, so he had me edit together, and there was a lot on the cutting room floor because he forgot to edit. He forgot to record video, one or two scenes that would tie everything together, and so I was like, we can find some way to tie the story together and use that film. I mean, we can. The story's still there. We just don't have those transition films. And nah, I just passed on it, and because there was no music, the overdubs that the narrator did when there was breathing time, when there's time to breathe. It felt weird. There'd be dead airspace like that, and you know what I mean. And it's just when you're watching a movie, it's just uncomfortable. So it's just like the speech is almost nonstop. It's like when it was arriving, I remember that much, blah 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 blah, and it's just like it's constant going, and that might be exactly what he wanted to just power through the story. But with some music, it gives you some time to like when it was arriving. I remember that much. You know what I mean? It just lets you emote it a little bit more, and then you have the music in the background to carry those little dead spots to help further emote it, and you can feel how the mood and whatever. Um, Apparently, he showed both versions to. He wanted to see like he already had a successful showing of the original version. And I guess he saw mine. I don't know if it was like just curiosity to see which one was liked the most, but um, he said that they did like mine. He said he blames MTV because like mine had it might have been his vision to have it with no music, kind of like THX from George Lucas, and that was exactly how he wanted it. But just like George Lucas, how he wanted Star Wars. We wanted something a little bit different. I mean, he had a good structure, but it wasn't quite right. That's why he had some directors come in and stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Dog Thief, shall we? And I can shut the fuck up. It's been 15 minutes. No, it's been 5 minutes already. All right, so I'll get out of here. Then I'll get out of here.
I forgot what I was doing that day. There was a time when I remembered, but now I forgot what I was doing that day. There was a time when I remembered, but now the days, they all seem to run together. Sometimes I'll remember something really funny and I'll laugh really loud. And then I realize it's a television memory. It didn't really happen to me at all. When I was arriving, I remember that much. And my neighbor who I was in love with, he was waking up on the floor of a house he didn't recognize. His mouth was dry, his eyes burning, red. The rest of him didn't feel anything at all. He'd been asleep for 2 days. 2 days. His name was Dane, and he was telling himself that he'd change. Stop drinking, stop hanging around with those fucking people. This is his story. It could be my story too, or a negative image of my story. A record of all the things that I didn't do. So Dane decided that if he was ever going to quit drugs, he could never sit in one place long enough for them to catch up to him again. He started walking, first in our neighborhood and then further and further out. He had nothing. He lived with his parents. So he found this dog. He really didn't find it more found him. Followed him home. It wasn't a week before he couldn't walk through the neighborhood without seeing a reward sign. They were everywhere. Big stupid rat. That dog turned out to be worth $2,000.
I tell you, if a man was smart enough, he can make a living doing that. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
I couldn't think of anybody who'd paid $2,000 for me. So right about here, a month passes. For me, it's all house calls and network news. Dane is missing for this month, and without him, I almost have no encounters with human beings at all. turns up. What's up,
There
man?
he is.
Where have you been, man? And that's weird, because I've been jerking off to thoughts of him, and, you know, you might think I'm crazy, but my fantasies were never really sexual. More domestic, I guess. You want two?
Two. I need two. Everyone two.
How much money?
Oh, about $1,000 a week. Oh, I gotta go. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, have I?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. So, you remember Poncho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, she gave me the money when I took Poncho back.
Yeah.
Well, and then I told you that a guy can make a living by returning dogs.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I've been taking lost dogs back and getting the money.
For reward.
Yeah, because I take their dogs back.
That's so twisted, man.
Sometimes I take the dogs. And then I wait for a reward sign and I go back. But they get their dogs back and I get money. That's what I've been doing.
So,
I find lost dogs and I take them back.
that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, well, I take it to my mom's house in the country. It's like the longer I leave them out there, the more cancerous when I come back. They run and roll and play. They're happy. They're out there in the grass. They look like morons running around. It's crazy.
God. You should have a dog of your own. I read somewhere that people live longer when they have pets, when they've got love in their life.
I think about keeping them. I really do. I'd love to keep them. They're so much fun. I hate to take them back after they've been out, but at the end of the month, rent's still due, and this is how I make my money.
So he'd been stealing dogs. At first he was just returning lost dogs, but there just weren't enough lost dogs to pay his debts. What debts, I wondered. I could hear the addiction back in his voice. Stupid boy. Stupid, beautiful boy. Sometimes he'd take a big fat wiener and pack it full of ketamine, horse tranquilizers. Then he'd just carry the dog away. Started breaking into places. He said he could hear their little toenails clicking on the hardwood floors, like SOS signals. He was a liberator. A dog hero. I would watch him walk past. I enjoyed watching him. I hate this story. It makes me feel ashamed that I just don't understand. He seemed trapped by it. Either a junk junkie or a money junkie, it didn't really matter. That was the last time I saw him. A couple of months later, I heard that he'd been arrested near the golf club. An overdosing Sheltie in one arm and a solid gold menorah in the other. If he was Jewish, I'd never known. Well, since all this happened, I've gotten worse.
So, are you experiencing any memory loss or disorientation?
Well, sometimes when I leave the house, it's really difficult for me to. It's like when I turn around to come back, I don't know exactly where I'm going. So yeah, I've been having problems with that, so not all the time, but some.
Maybe we should schedule an appointment and have that checked out for you.
Okay, who do I need to talk to for that? I dream of Dane now. Dreams in which I'm well again. In one of those dreams, he's actually liberating me. Taking me out of this cage. Stupid, sick body. Taking me to his aunt's house in the country. In this dream, the blood in my veins becomes a swarm of moths. And then I know that they will never return me. Not for any price.
That was the dog thief, and that was done. Geez, before even 2000. No, it was after 2000. It's like 2000. Okay, it did say coming in 2004, so it must have been like 2003. So that makes sense. Maybe even 2004, but that first scene was shot in my house. Um, there's several little things like that. I could show you the video for Head, but it's like it's so incomplete that it kind of it sucks because we shot the video and I mean I could, if I showed you, you could see there's a lot of work that needs to be done to it, like to process certain things out of there. And when I got done with it, um, there was a scene I added rain. You know what I mean? It was raining, even though it wasn't actually raining. I added rain. It looked genuine. Um, there's just a bunch of stuff in there that's really cool. Um, when either Matt or I would appear on his shoulder, I did a lot better at tracking of where where his shoulder is, and I made sure that like as he moved, like we were, we'd stay very much rooted, And then there's like and also it required like not just one green screen filter to get rid of the green screen because the green screen wasn't we didn't straighten it out good enough, and so there was wrinkles. So I had to select the one color, and that got rid of the thing. But then I had to select the wrinkle color and got rid of the rest. So it was much clearer. If I ever show it, I don't know if I ever will or not. Like I said, it's missing so much stuff that you really don't even get the joke of the whole video at the end. It's very funny. I think it's very funny. It was funny enough that I proposed it to my bandmate Matt, and he was like, "Yeah." And then we got people to join in and to film it. So he must have thought it was a pretty funny idea too. But no, that was a really. I wish I would have had a little bit more input on the recording, on the video editing part, because the sound has because you can hear the camera rolling. I'm a sound guy. I would have had one of these type microphones. I have them. I have the arm. I would have just like stayed in the back and like held it like at the base, and then just like telescope over and like make sure I was out of the shot, and then just capture on another like on my laptop or something, so that way it's just portable and just move around with the scene. It would just sound cleaner. I even have stereo mics. I mean, I've got that one. I've got this one right here. So even though they wouldn't be exact duplicates, it would still be a difference of left and right, and they're very similar type microphones from the same company. Like this is the Behringer B1. And this is the Behringer C1. I can turn it on and show you. Yeah, so yeah, that one's over there, kind of quiet. It would have to be bumped up quite a bit, wouldn't it? Anyways. Yeah, so this one's that one. And this is this one. Oh, I didn't set the compressor and stuff on there on the other one. So I would have to set the compressor and stuff, but I can make the other one sound pretty much like this one. But now I've also got other ones that are matched pairs, and I've got ones that are not matched pairs, like my Bob Barker one. Got the Bob Barker one, and then I've also got I bought a box of microphones, man, and some of them are absolute crap, and some of them are pretty dope for the fact that they are absolute crap. Look at this thing. It kind of looks like the other one, only like like a whatever. So I can run my matched pair, and then use these as an unmatched pair, and then have like a trash kind of sound in the room, and blend it as needed. It's pretty nutty. And I have enough mic stands, clips and stuff, like the mic stands and those not Y bracket. It's like it is kind of like it's like more of a T bracket, and it allows you to put 2 mic clips on there, so you can put the stereo pair. I have a couple of those, so I can match 2 stereo pairs. Like I said, I have 1 stereo pair. Have this here, and then put like if I adjusted it right, I could put another set of like stereo match pair, and then back here have the shitty match pair that are catching that. However you want to do it. I've got another stand. I could put it on that other stand and put this in there. And then to top it all off, I've got that bathroom right back there, and that's gonna be like the vocal booth. And I've got like the shower curtain. It was just like a rod that went over the shower, so I moved it further out, and now I can adjust, and I can put like a curtain on there, like an actual curtain. I can raise it all the way to the ceiling. I can lower it down. I mean, there's just so much stuff I can do in there now. I can put a microphone on the back side and like have it lowered down so that any sound that goes over will have a weird sound to it. I can just experiment and just try different shit. So especially like if I get loud and project up, like how you tend to go, ah. So when I go into those things, it'll go up and hit the ceiling and bounce into that little back chamber room. And I don't know if it'll like be, I don't know. I wanted to try it out just to see if it does anything. Who knows? That's one thing from Heroes. I can't remember, Visconti, I believe, Tony Visconti. People were wondering how he got that. He just used like a large room, had Bowie singing into a microphone like this. Then back from that, he had another microphone. And then back from that, he had another microphone. So that way, when Bowie was like kind of singing intimately, it was like right here. But then we back up and start belting. It'd catch the second microphone would catch it, and possibly the third one. But when he really let go, the third one would catch the reverb of the sound of the whole room. You know what I mean? And so it made like this big, crazy fucking sound that no one had ever heard before, really. The same thing with the, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but what I've heard and read is the In the Air Tonight. So I've got a drum pack for BFD that has that exact sound. And I'm like, that's just such a popular sound. Why the hell would I want that? But it was on sale for pretty cheap. And when I found out how they got that sound, I was like, well, if I just... Okay, so apparently what had happened was they have in studio, like how I'm doing now, just talking, they have a talkback mic in the room. So that way they can just shut the talk, like they hit the thing button, like, hey, you guys are blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, when they let go, it's like it's a two-way communication. That way, like, great take, guys. You guys want to listen to it? And you can just hold it down like, no, I want to do it again. We'll keep another tape session, but we're not recording over that one. That one was great. You know what I mean? That way you can talk back and forth to the person, and there's an isolation booth and all this other stuff, but you can still talk to them. Well, that microphone went down, and Phil was laying the drum tracks, and so they hung, not one of these, but like a microphone above. I don't know if it was even a good or whatever. It was just a microphone. They hung it above the kit so that he could talk to them and hear them. And when they go to record it, he forgot to kill it. And so they had this extra track. They had this really big boomy whatever. And when they mix it into the sound, you get the sound that you hear on the album. And so knowing that, I was like, okay, in that case, I should be able to just kill the microphone, that overhead microphone. BFD's like that, man. You can per instrument, you can turn off the what overhead room, all that shit. It's nuts, man. It's like you actually have the instruments in the actual studio. BFD is by far, if you're a producer, is the best program for making drums, for doing drums. If you're not using actual real drum kit, even if you are, I would wager that if you had the quality kit, you would get more done a lot faster, better quality, because all the mixing and it's just standard practices for recording drums, really. And then even if you just use the dry and the overhead microphones, there's so many like room emulation microphone VSTs out there reverbs that you can put it in pretty much any room in the universe, like literally, ones that don't exist. Huge, enormous rooms, tiny little micro. I mean, you can do all kinds of. They've with the IRs and stuff. They've emulated stadiums. They've emulated cathedrals. They've emulated Roman, like the amphitheaters and shit like that. It's nuts, man. It's crazy what you can do. And so I've got a way to like kind of tie them all together in a very, very interesting, new, novel way. But we'll see what happens. This is about 30 minutes, and that's about long enough for this one to be. I'm going to do my next one on virtual drums, digital drum kits. I just feel like talking about them. I love my digital drum kit, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to see if I can find some information so I can show off a little bit of kind of what I can do. So yeah, stopping now.